Some stones exist. On them, not only words, but time itself is carved. And some gates. They do not open just a room, but 1,000 years. The wind was blowing fiercely across the Mongolian steppe. The sky stood between gray and copper, as if trapped in time itself. Gigantic stones rose along the banks of the Orkhon River. Those great pillars that had remained silent for 13 centuries would speak again today. But this time, they would not be heard only by historians. 732 AD, the most powerful era of the Göktürks, Bilge Khagan, his brother, Ötüken, and their wise sage, Tonyukuk. The Orkhon Inscriptions are the earliest known written records in Turkish history. They are a warning carved into stone for a nation. Turkish people, never lose your name and your traditions. Yet what history books teach is this, that these inscriptions are merely political advice. But what if these stones were not only the record of a nation, but the record of time itself? The year was 2029. Istanbul. Dr. Alper Kaya, an astrophysicist, one of the world's few leading scientists working on quantum time theory. For a long time, he had been studying the star motifs carved into the Orkhon inscriptions. He was the first to realize that these motifs were not simple decorations. Then one night, he combined what he had learned from his telescope with the star alignments carved into the stones. What he discovered left him stunned. The star map carved into the stones did not match any time in the sky. Yet, it matched one specific moment perfectly, the exact summer solstice of 732 AD. This was not a monument. It was marking a coordinate. Dr. Alper tried again and again. In the end, the same word always appeared on the computer screen. Intersection point. The steppe, the sky, the shadows of the inscriptions. These stones were not only telling the past, they were fixing an event in place, a point where time intersected. And what was even more terrifying, that this intersection point was still active. Months of bureaucratic procedures, excavation permits, and secret funding. In the summer of 2029, Dr. Alper and his team set foot in the Orkhon Valley. When night fell, in the open space between the inscriptions, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. But it wasn't the soil. It was time that was trembling. From beneath the stones, a structure slowly emerged, circular in shape, something between metal and stone. It looked like modern technology, and yet, at the same time, primitive. On it, there was only one symbol, the seal of the Göktürk Khaganate. On the night of the summer solstice, Dr. Alper began examining the sensors they had placed among the stones. The flow of time had begun to deviate. The air was becoming electrified, the wind was blowing in reverse, and suddenly, the stones began to shake. A dark void opened in the center. There was no light inside the void, only nothingness. The gate of time. Dr. Alper's breath caught in his throat, and alone, he took a step toward the void. A moment of darkness, a blinding emptiness, and then drumbeats, the neighing of horses, smoke, incense, Ötüken, the Göktürk royal tent, and standing before him, a Khagan, Bilge Khagan, and beside him, Tonyukuk. Dr. Alper's knees gave way, and he collapsed to the ground. Tonyukuk looked at him and said, "The heavens sent you here from beyond time." Tonyukuk began to speak. He told of a night when stars fell suddenly from the sky into the heart of Ötüken. Those stars were not metal, nor any other material. They were made of time itself. The Göktürks debated what to do with this substance and eventually decided to build a gate. But this gate was not built to escape into the future. It was built as a warning. Tonyukuk's words, "If one day the Turkish people fall apart in their own time, this gate will surely open again." Dr. Alper realized the truth. If this technology were ever to fall into the wrong hands, not just one nation, but all of humanity could become trapped in the past. At that moment, something else happened. In the present day, others had also discovered the location of the gate, and they were much faster than Dr. Alper. The sky over the steppe tore open. Metal birds appeared in the sky, units from the future. But those who came were not human. They were a species that had come to seize time itself. Bilge Khagan immediately drew his sword. Tonyukuk shouted, "Time, too, is a homeland!" As the enemy descended onto the steppe, the Göktürk soldiers attacked at once. With horses, they charged straight onto the steel machines. In that moment, Dr. Alper understood. Right now, in 732, this war had to be won. Alper ran toward the center of the gate. He had only one choice, to close it. But the cost was heavy, never being able to return to his own time. Tonyukuk looked at him and said, "When necessary, a nation sacrifices even time." Dr. Alper pressed his hand onto the temporal core. A blinding explosion of light followed. The year was 2029, the present day. Dead silence at the excavation site. The gate was gone. There was nothing left beneath the stones. But then, a new sentence appeared on the Orkhon Inscriptions, a new line that no one had ever seen before. "Greetings to the son who came from within time." The existence of Dr. Alper Kaya had been erased from time. But on some nights, in Ötüken, the wind still continues to blow, like the neighing of horses.